Welcome back, everyone, to today's market recap. We have a lot to cover. There's a lot of good trades you could have taken, but first, we have a lot of drama that has unfolded in the last 24 hours. TJR calls me out directly. Now, yesterday I made a video talking about how we had beef. And honestly, I was kind of joking. I did not actually intend to start beef with TJR, but he calls me out, and basically, I like Cardano. I think it's a great project. I am aware that it hasn't performed well, and the reality is I am totally in agreement that the ones that are outperforming will tend to continue to outperform, and in general, it's not necessarily like the best for short-term games within a crypto cycle. But at the end of the day, Cardano is a great project and fundamentally is better than Bitcoin and Ethereum in a lot of ways. And at the end of the day, people just chose Bitcoin and Ethereum to be the ones that are the biggest. They just chose them. When Cardano is fundamentally better than Bitcoin in so many aspects. And so I'm like, I am a Cardano fanboy, but that's besides the point. The point is I like the crypto. Honestly, I want to become the RoaringKitty of Cardano. I want to take Cardano, which has been shamed and been ridiculed and torn apart. The whole community has just been made fun of. I want to change the landscape. I want to turn it into the next Bitcoin. But I understand other people's views, and we'll have to talk more about it another time. So I actually got on a Twitter space with TJR, and it was kind of crazy. I did not think that they were going to let me join, because all I did is I clicked request. I was like, I'm going to see if they're going to let me talk, because they were just talking about Cardano. They were basically beating up on it, and I was like, I'm just going to start talk and say something. And so all I did is I said, I think that Cardano is a great project. I think that we are in a Bitcoin phase of the crypto cycle. I think eventually money will rotate into high market cap altcoins, and I think that it's a great project. And at the end of the day, Bitcoin was just chosen to be the one that's the biggest. But why does it have to be like that? You know? Anyway, he calls me out. He says, retard alert. Hey, Jake, you might be retarded. He is talking directly to me here. This is a repost of my tweet where I was just responding to him because he's been beating up on me about Cardano for a while now. He reposted something else before that, calling me a retard, and now he's talking in all caps, saying retard alert, hey Jake, you might be retarded. So all I was saying was, you're beating up on me in my Cardano comment, but Cardano has everything that Bitcoin has. So the logic doesn't make sense there. And so, anyway, it's kind of crazy that all of a sudden now I have beef with TGR. I was honestly joking yesterday about that, but insane. Anyway, let's get into the trades today. So I did not trade. I had stuff come up this morning, so I wasn't able to trade this morning, but it's important for me to actually get these videos out and know that you guys can have a market recap to watch every single day. I want to provide that to you consistently. I want that to be a staple of my channel, to make sure that I have a market recap coming out every single day. As well, that's going to allow me to get better and become the trader that I want to be by reviewing the markets every single day, day in and day out. And so that's what I'm going to do. So going into the morning, you can see that we actually perfectly swept New York PM's lows. And so this is what I mean when I say the market's not random. It's seeking liquidity. It went and it perfectly swept New York PM's lows, and then what did it do? It sought after London and Asia's highs. And I cannot believe the people who really think that this is not controlled by an algorithm. It's perfectly sweeping these session highs and lows. I mean, it really is not random. And then look at this. I mark out this low here, and then I mark out the manipulation. So one of my new favorite things, you can see the 2 to 2.5 rest right below that low. Is that random? No. The market leaves liquidity to go get ran. And so that's just how the market is, and it's because people are emotional. People are going to panic sell above old highs and below old lows. They're going to either panic buy or panic sell, and so it's just the reality of trading. So let's get into our first trade of the day. So the most obvious trade of the day, in my opinion, and it was also a trade that Hydra took. I probably would have taken this trade, but I can't say for certain since I actually wasn't on the charts. I don't know if I would have. But it seemed pretty clear to me because we were we pushed into this order block here. So like you could say this was like the mean threshold of this order block, right? So this was a giant order block, a giant down close candle as well. This is there was a fair value gap here on the 2 minute, right? So we were delivering from this order block. We violated this fair value gap here. So when we close above this fair value gap right here, this would have been your entry. And I will show this from Hydra because Hydra talks about this trade. He says, patience and inversions never fail to pay, plus 2R with 450 plus Discord members. So the thing about this one that gives conviction is you still have, yes, we swept London's highs, but we still have Asia's highs up here. And Asia's highs are a strong draw on liquidity. So put your stop loss. I'd probably just put it here, but maybe you could put it here or here. Just kind of depends where you want it. And then you get a nice 2-to-1 targeting Asia's highs here. I'd probably just go for like a 2-to-1 here, something like that. And then that would have worked out very, very well. And obviously you could have even had a 3-to-1. So yeah, once this gap got closed above, you'd enter there. And so yeah, and so another thing to think about is like, you might be wondering, oh, this is hindsight, why didn't you pick this one? You have to realize not all draws on liquidity are created equal. And right now, Asia's highs, if they're not swept yet, that's concerning for shorts. You want to see the session highs and lows get taken out. So here, we still wanted to go take out Asia's highs, and boom, we went to go take out Asia's highs. As well, let's talk about Dody's trade. So, Dody, after Asia got swept, he took a short, tried to go down to some equal lows down here. Now, we didn't actually get down to those equal lows, but we did have that inverse for value gap, and we did take out this low and this low. And I will show you that trade just in a second. So, here's that low, here's that low, here's that fair value gap. Once this gets closed below, you would enter. Now, I think the way he did this was kind of confusing to me, but I think he enters off of a higher time frame inversion, so we waited for like some higher time frame gap. I think it's fine to enter on this one, personally. Maybe just put your stop loss, above this candle, IFG candle. Whoops, what even happened there? And then, you could take all off here for a 1-to-1, or you could have gone for a 2.5-to-1. But this is the low-hanging fruit, nice 1-to-1 risk-reward trade. Dody tried to go for these equal lows down here. That could have worked out, but it didn't. So at the very least, that was a break-even trade for him, where he probably took partial at that low. So very nice trade from Dody. And I didn't see anyone post any other trades, so those were the two main trades that I saw today. Oh, there was one trade from Justin. Now, I'm still learning on I'm still trying to understand Justin's trades. I'm not the expert at deciphering his trades yet because I don't totally understand them all the way, but we will take a look at it. So there was SMT at these highs once we swept Asia's highs. And then if I zoom in here, it's not going to let me. Okay. Anyway, you get the idea. there's SMT at the highs. So his model is basically like a sweep of like a session high or low and SMT, and then he waits for a change in state of delivery. Once he got that, I think he enters off of the retest of the change in state of delivery, but it's not exact, or maybe he enters off the close below. It's not exactly, that's what I mean when I say it's not exactly clear to me, but the main idea is there has to be some form of SMT, some form of liquidity swept. We swept London and Asia, and then once all that happens, you get this change of state of delivery here. You retest it. It's a high conviction area for shorts, so he probably entered. He might have entered after. He might not have entered right on this change of state of delivery. It looks like he entered possibly once we close below, but yeah. Anyway, I'm not exactly sure on his trades, but I'll keep trying to understand his trades day by day, and yeah, he took it to this sell side. So I don't know why he targeted that specifically, but yeah, you can clearly see that like the more confluence you have, the confluences you have, the better. You had SMT, you swept London and Asia, so made this very high probability. With that, one more thing I'll say. You might be wondering, well, why didn't we want to come up and run this? And yeah, we inversed this giant fair value gap, but the reality is we still have trendline liquidity down here, and we already swept London and Asia's highs. Remember, not all draws on liquidity are created equal. So since we already swept London and Asia's highs, those are the session highs and lows. Those are stronger magnets, and we have equal lows below. Not all draws on liquidity are created equal. The market prefers to go to those equal lows, and you can see they eventually did. I think these are the equal lows Dodgy was talking about. Not all draws on liquidity are created equal. The market goes to those equal lows, and then eventually, I believe this is low of the day. So yeah, once again, not all draws on liquidity are created equal as well. Remember, the standard deviations lined up with that 2 to 2.5, so you would have known the draw is lower, and you probably should not have been shorting. So as well, I'm guessing the stat maps lined up, but since I'm doing this in hindsight, the times are going to be off a little bit, so I'll have to show the stat maps in another video. With that, this was a longer one, but it's worth it's worth covering everything. So with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.